Okay, we watched a video of Coffeezilla on exposing Andrew Tate and his brother. What's his name? I don't even know his brother name, but yeah, he exposed Andrew Tate and and now he's gonna expose Mr. Beast. Okay, yeah, if you are on internet or on Twitter especially, I'm sure you know about all the drama going on revolving around Mr. Beast and how he's fake, he do fake challenges and all that blah blah blah. But yeah, but now Coffeezilla is going to really I hope, and yeah, we'll see that how he will expose Mr. Beast or how he will investigate Mr. Beast. And let's watch it together and let's see how he will do it, and yeah, like how fake is Mr. Beast, or what he's
I investigated Mr. Beast, who was recently accused of making $23 million with insider trading and scams. I wanted to know the full story, so I reached out to everyone, from researchers to crypto projects, even to Mr. Beast himself. And let me say, the story is more complicated than you think. I want to be clear. What Mr. Beast did, what his team did, is shady. But what we care about is, did he cross that bright red line from shady to illegal scam? And contrary to what Twitter says, I don't think that's an easy answer. Instead, I think the answer will depend on you. If you love Mr. Beast, there will be an explanation at every turn and a scapegoat. But if you hate Mr. Beast, what I'm about to show you will seem unethical and like a...
I would say I'm like a middle guy. Okay. I'm in a middle line, you can say. I'm not like a hater, but I'm not like a fan too, you can say. But yeah, like, don't really care, but really wanna know what he's been up to, what kind of a scam. I hope not another crypto scam, because bro, I'm tired of those, for real.
Clear abuse of fame for money. So already this story is difficult, but I want to make you aware of two more things which matter. First, I have gone to Mr. Beast's team to try to fact check this story extensively, and they declined to fact check or comment on my many questions.
Of course.
Instead, they gave me a statement which we will get to. Secondly, I have a bit of history with Mr. Beast.
Lawsuit or something?
And spoke positively about him in the past, but also his new co-founder is...
Logan sues Coffeezilla. You are spewing lies for personal gain. Come on,
and his
scammers.
Other co-founder threatened to sue me. So you can make of that what you will.
Yeah, bro, I'm tired of these this collaboration about Lunchly. The collaboration they did, man. About Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI. They just collaborated and made this box, and yeah, which went really wrong. They really thought they did something, but nah. It had all the stuff growing inside, like it went bad really fast, you can say, like a pink sauce, you can say. If you don't know, I have video on it, you can watch that. But yeah, but I'm not a fan of, I wasn't fan of Logan Paul or KSI much, but especially after they did this thing about the Lunchly thing, they brought out with Mr. Beast. I'm hating, especially after the bringing in Speed as well. I Show Speed, bringing in him in as a group too, and I really feel that I Show Speed should stay away from especially these three guys, or at least two guys, which is Logan Paul and KSI. At least he should stay away from them, because these guys are just not it, man. For real, they just care about is money coming from anyone, whoever, from scamming anywhere. They just want money and just care about money, and yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
As always, I just want to let you know where I'm coming from, and I've tried to get all sides of the story. We're going to start with the major allegations against Mr. Beast and build on those. They come from two sources. Firstly, an investigation by Soma XBT, which claims Mr. Beast made $10 million by backing low-cap crypto tokens.
Bro, not another crypto scam, please. How these guys are still scamming people out of crypto, dude, and making these random coins, daddy, mommy, son, or like random coins, man. Like, I don't know how their fans or people still like get scammed into this stuff like that. Like, I feel like one of the scam which Mr. Beast will do in this video from Coffeezilla will be about him scamming people through crypto. Like how people are still doing this and getting away with it too, like,
which are down 90%. And the second investigation comes from a group of 5 people who investigated MrBeast and found $23 million in profits from, quote, scams, shady deals, and
$23 million, dude.
There are a lot of crypto projects they go over. And I want to be clear. Some of these allegations, I agree, are bad. Others, I think, are actually worse than have been reported. And still other allegations, I simply disagree with them on. So we're going to start with what I don't agree with. According to the report, Polychain Monsters, or PMON, is a project which KSI promoted heavily. MrBeast did not. But MrBeast did get in the pre-sale and make a lot of money. And thus, the conclusion is made, it's highly likely MrBeast made an investment from that insider information of KSI's promotional deal. But there's simply no evidence provided of this. I have the same thoughts about JigStack, another coin which KSI promoted, and the conclusion is, though MrBeast did not officially follow JigStack, in his network, KSI was involved in promoting JigStack. From this information, MrBeast invested and made a large return. Here, again, there isn't concrete proof. Now, I asked the team who wrote this piece, and the lead author, Casper Vandeluk, told me, quote, having known MrBeast's having a very strong connection with KSI, it's basically highly probable he was vested as a result of KSI. No concrete evidence, just going off probabilities. But I'm going to say I don't agree with that, and I'm going to toss those probabilities aside. I think they reach too far. Instead, I'm going to stick with what we can prove. Luckily, the biggest claims in this report, the biggest money makers, are much better supported by evidence. Starting with Super. This is the project MrBeast is alleged to have made the most amount of money on, over $10 million based on a pre-sale of $100,000. As for evidence, we have leaked screenshots showing MrBeast telling Super's founder that he can do 100K. Then we have a wallet that both investigations trace to MrBeast, sending 100K to the pre-sale wallet. And then we have the same wallets getting millions of these Super tokens in a period of unlocks, which were almost all sold aggressively. Now, why is this bad? Well, MrBeast is obviously hugely influential, and he publicly associated himself with the project twice. Once on March 3rd, 2021, he responded to a tweet with eyeball emojis, and then he interacted a second time on May 12th, 2021. This is much worse. The founder, Elio Trades, had tweeted, there's a gym sitting there on the market at eye-watering prices set to explode during the DeFi Summer 2.0. MrBeast's response, Super? But what he doesn't say is that he'd already purchased a huge stake in Super at this point. And on the day that he's tweeting, he was selling tokens, allegedly. Not only that, he had been selling tokens and continued to sell tokens. In the 72 hours after the May 12th tweet, MrBeast sold about $200,000 worth of these tokens. And remember,
so it was going down.
He was
making money.
The founder of the coin,
but making fool out of other people.
Gym at eye-watering prices that's going to explode during the summer. And MrBeast's response is the coin he's selling. So publicly, it's signaling, hey, Super is this undervalued coin, and privately, MrBeast allegedly sold. Now, I ran these wallets by MrBeast, as well as the accusation, but I didn't get a reply. Instead, I got a heavily lawyered statement from the spokesman. I'm going to warn you, is about to complicate things. Quote, these investments were made and managed in consultation with industry experts to ensure full compliance with all appropriate rules and regulations. The wallet is not owned or managed by Jimmy, but rather a fund led by respected and sophisticated managers. The fund closely evaluated and scrutinized hundreds and hundreds of opportunities, which resulted in several investments. Some have been more successful, others less, and others still works in progress. The fund's investment strategies apply the same rigorous standards as many other experienced investors in the field. Now, I have a lot of questions, but the big thing is Jimmy denies doing any of the trading or managing the trading and blames it on a fund. So I asked some obvious follow-up questions. What is the name of this fund? Who were the industry experts? And what rules and regulations were followed that allowed you to tweet about a coin while your fund is selling? I didn't get a response. It's worth mentioning the spokesman is Matthew Hiltzik, a well-known crisis management consultant. Thankfully, online, there still are a number of clues we can follow to try to find the right person for this fund. The reason most people link MrBeast to this wallet we've been tracking is mostly based on a tweet by MrBeast saying he bought a specific CryptoPunk, which belonged to an account which goes by Wu-Tang Clan. People assumed, understandably, that this was MrBeast's wallet. But what is lesser known is that another account has also tweeted about CryptoPunks and has the same ties back to Wu-Tang Clan. A guy named Jason Williams. He's followed by MrBeast on Twitter, and he's the author of a book on Bitcoin, so he's a crypto guy. And I found Jason tweeting about another CryptoPunk saying, "I hope you enjoy your new home, sold for 100 ETH. That sale he's talking about links back to the same address MrBeast does, Wu-Tang Clan. On YouTube, there's even more clues. Jason can be seen surfing wearing a Wu-Tang Clan shirt, and his brand name, Going Parabolic, happens to be owned by the same MrBeast wallet, goingparabolic.eth. So there's very good evidence that Jason Williams was also involved in the same wallet, which means that it might be true that MrBeast wasn't the guy buying or selling, which would be good for MrBeast and bad for these investigations. But just when I thought MrBeast might have no say in what this wallet did, I saw this podcast with Logan Paul, where Jimmy discusses CryptoPunks once again, and things get complicated.
So me and Logan both bought punks. You guys have probably seen on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of CryptoPunks at the same time, right?
Yep.
Gary pulled us in that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary V, it's like 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me and he's like, "Yo, I got like 30 people to call. Hop in." I'm like, I don't care. He's like, "It'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in." I'm like, okay. Yeah. And so I just joined the call. And I just see like Logan and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
Every heavy hitter you can imagine who's worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary V is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, "CryptoPunks, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook." We're all of us. We're like, "Okay,
Everyone's
Gary."
Judging. I'm texting Logan. And I'm like,
"Is
Gary lost
this
his
legit?"
mind.
For all of us, we're like, "Yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again."
I bought a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
How many?
I don't want to say, but I bought multiple ones. Yeah.
Well, bro, are you in double digits, punks?
Just shy.
Huh. Well, this clip is very interesting because Jimmy said he made the decision to get CryptoPunks based on a call with Gary V.
Yeah.
But those punks are owned by the wallet we just said was controlled by Jason. So it appears sometimes MrBeast is telling Jason what to buy for this fund. MrBeast then later talks about selling these CryptoPunks and rolling the money into a new project. And once again, it sounds like he's in charge.
Well, I've already sold quite a few of them, so I don't.
What?
Dude,
he's on to the next thing.
I bought a bunch of, so then I rolled the money into VeeFriends because Gary, same thing, called me. He's like, VeeFriends. I was like, I don't know, but last time I made money, sure.
I'll be honest, these clips to me make it difficult to assume MrBeast had no idea what's going on. He talks about CryptoPunks and VeeFriends like personal investments. And on Twitter, he says that not only he bought CryptoPunks, he also tweets about loading up on VeeFriends. But again, I have to say, it is also abundantly clear Jason Williams was involved. He says, "Hey Gary, thanks for the VeeFriends gift goat. It was a gift from Gary to MrBeast. I'm very thankful for it. He didn't have to send anything." So once again, Jason Williams appears to be involved and have something to do with the trading or management of MrBeast's crypto wallet. But we know MrBeast made some of the decisions. So of course, I asked MrBeast to explain himself if he had any say over the trading. But once again, there's no response. So now I want to turn back to Super. We know from leaked DMs that MrBeast and not Jason set up this pre-sale, and we know that MrBeast made the tweet. So now we have to guess. Here's what we know. We know MrBeast set up the pre-sale according to leaked screenshots. We know MrBeast made the tweet, but we don't know whether it was Jason doing the trading of Super, or if he was doing the trading, did MrBeast know about it? Did Jason know about the tweet? These are the questions that ultimately matter. And yes, I reached out to Jason Williams for a comment. He didn't reply. I did, however, get a hold of Elio Trades, who is the founder of Super, and he insisted that MrBeast's tweet was not a part of a deal for promotion. But you should know, he also mentions how upset he was with how pre-sale investors sold their tokens, saying most of them sold, including MrBeast. So those are the facts. MrBeast gets involved in a pre-sale. For some reason, tweets at this project twice. One time on the day his fund is selling tokens, where he seems to imply that they're undervalued. In total, he's alleged to have made $11 million with this deal, according to the report. So yeah, that's really bad. Now we're going to turn to another allegation, which is about earn or Ethernity chain.
Eternity.
There are some facts which are the same. There are others that are different. For example, instead of MrBeast setting up the deal directly, the team at Earn claims they never spoke to MrBeast. Quote, "We were speaking to his fund manager. And when I asked about these wallets selling allegedly over $4 million in tokens, they say, quote, MrBeast's fund was an early investor in our pre-sale. He had the same unlock schedule as everyone else. Were we happy with the way he sold? Definitely not. But legally, there was nothing we could have done. And then, just like with Super, they claim they didn't ask for a promotion of the project. But that MrBeast decided to comment once himself anyways. On March 9th, 2021, MrBeast responds to Ethernity Chain saying, this one will be hype. It's worth noting, once again, about 24 hours before saying this fund wallet purchased over $100,000 of Earn tokens in addition to the presale. Now, what is different about Super is that MrBeast's name was put publicly on the Ethernity Chain website. On their investors and partners page, you might be asking, well, which is it? Is he an investor or a partner? And the answer is
both.
Both.
Yeah.
He got into the presale, and the Earn team also claims that he partnered with them for an NFT drop. Supposedly, it was a charity drop and a normal NFT drop. Now, the charity drop specifically did happen in association with one of MrBeast's projects, Team Seas, saying, quote, all proceeds will go towards cleaning up the seas around the world. This was early November 2021.
Yeah, he did that.
The official Team Seas account posts it on November 3rd, 2021. Quote, what an awesome crypto collaboration in support of the team. Then the CEO of Ethernity Chain, Nick Rose, confirms in Telegram that the drop is supported by MrBeast, saying, Earn and ETH tokens will be accepted for the charity auction, which was slated to last 2 months. Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this is because 1 month into this 2-month charity auction, on November 30th, 2021, the Rocket Fund or Beast Fund or whatever you want to call it starts selling huge amounts of this Earn token. Allegedly, they sold over $2 million, while the charity itself was still going on. Now, I know that sounds horrible. It looks horrible. It is horrible. Although I have to tell you, personally, I don't think this was a master plan to pump a coin with a charity auction. If it was the plan, it was a bad one because the NFT auction was ultimately a flop. But do I also think it doesn't matter because regardless of your intentions, selling tokens within a month of your 2-month charity auction is wrong, stupid, and unethical? Yes, I think that as well. Because in case you forgot, MrBeast is the charity guy whose name is on the website. It isn't a fund. It isn't a crypto rocket fund. It's MrBeast's branding. I even asked the Earn team about this, saying, quote, why did y'all list MrBeast instead of Rocket Fund in your partners' investors? Was that discussed? They say, quote, we listed him, MrBeast, as a partner, and quote, yes, they accepted that. So
they are fine with
the
it.
Earn team, MrBeast knew or should have known that his name was on the line for this investment and partnership. And yet, this fund, his fund, whatever you want to call it, sold tokens 1 month after starting a 2-month NFT auction for charity. To be fair again, though, it's hard to oversell how bad this NFT auction did. I have found only one NFT that appears to have sold here, but the bids were made in the Earn token, which the fund was selling, and the actual sale of the NFT didn't happen until after the fund sold in November 30th. The transfer happened in December 23rd. So, of course, I went to MrBeast directly to answer this and see if there was some more context they could provide. There was no response other than the statement we've already read from MrBeast that he did not control the trading. Although, again, that isn't a really satisfying answer because we've established MrBeast would sometimes direct what to buy and sell to this fund, like CryptoPunks. Personally, like I said, I don't think this was a pre-planned scheme. But regardless of intentions, If you're the charity guy, you support a charity, it flops while your fund makes millions of dollars in profits because it's selling the same earn token people could bid on the charity with, that just is awful. And you should feel awful about it.
But he did not.
Look, now I want to move on from that to talking about our final token, XCAD.
Another
this is a
one.
token you may remember from our investigation into MrBeast's business partner, KSI. But unlike KSI, MrBeast was not promoting it a lot on Twitter. In fact, the only reason we know MrBeast was in the presale is that there were several articles about it bragging about that fact. Once again, MrBeast's name was used to promote this instead of the fund itself. And internally to investors, I have to say, this built up a lot of excitement, not just because MrBeast is a huge name, but because XCAD had what's called creator tokens. So the idea to some investors is that, well, if they're investing MrBeast and KSI, what if they were ever to launch creator tokens? That would be massive. And I bring this up because some people might ask, like, what do these affiliations, how do they impact people buying these projects? And the answer from what I've seen is they actually do impact it quite a lot because people are anticipating like further involvement, and also the idea is like they must not be investing unless they're long-term holders. You can see this in the Telegram chat. It became so common that in the XCAD community, one of the admins says, "Here we go again," another community member asking if there's any possibility of a MrBeast KSI token. And meanwhile, by the way, as that's happening, as the investors are hoping for these creator tokens and that they're imminent, behind the scenes, something entirely different had been happening.
What?
Like with Super and Earn, MrBeast's fund sold a lot of their XCAD early in 2021 rather than holding their tokens. And this was surprising to
Same as
even
before.
the founder of XCAD himself, Oliver Bell, who said they told him they were going to do the opposite. He tells me, quote, "Hey, so MrBeast reached out to me during our pre-sale raise. A group was set up with his team, and we had a call with his team, and they said they liked the concept. There was no strings attached to the investment. They did, however, want a lot bigger ticket than what I offered them, which I'm glad I did not fulfill.
Wow.
We discussed not just flipping this token, as this can damage projects if people have decent-sized tickets. It was my understanding we were aligned on this. However, after listing to which XCAD performed well, there was heavy dumping from a wallet linked to MrBeast's team. I got in contact with them immediately and asked them why they were selling like this. Now, Oliver later claims this discussion about flipping tokens and them being aligned about the fact they're not going to flip these tokens so quickly was with Jason. And apparently, Oliver was so upset about what happened, he DM'd Jimmy directly, quote, explaining his team will ruin his reputation. And look, sorry to be a broken
So they kept
record,
selling
but
and selling and
I
selling.
reached out to Jimmy about this too. And once again, there was no reply
response.
besides the statement we read earlier. It's worth mentioning that I asked Oliver for proof of this message about ruining relationships, and he said the message had been deleted on Telegram. So who you believe here is up to you. Oliver also says, quote, "I don't think Jimmy has a bad heart or is a bad person. I think he has genuine interest in the crypto space, but I think the team that handles his crypto is
Yeah, I
completely
think so
clueless."
too. I
and
think
here,
so.
on this last point, I have to disagree with Oliver. I don't think that Jimmy's crypto team is clueless. I think they saw an opportunity to make millions of dollars with MrBeast's valuable brand, and they took it, and they did make millions of dollars. And along the way, they did some things that were shady. Whether or not you think they were also illegal is probably going to be shaped by our unanswered
MrBeast, as I've said, yeah, like he's not a bad guy. He has done good things for people too. But yeah, the team behind him is actually the one who is taking advantage of MrBeast branding or MrBeast money or MrBeast himself just to buy or sell these tokens and make some money. You get what I mean?
questions and where you fill in those gaps. For example, do you think MrBeast knew about the selling that was going on May 12th for the super token? Why did he make that tweet? And then, do you think MrBeast knew about the charity auction and the selling that was happening on November 30th? And do you think Oliver Bell DM'd MrBeast and told him his crypto team would ruin his reputation? And if so, was that ignored? I hate to leave so many unanswered questions here, but I warned you, this was a complicated story. And a big part of the problem is the guy at the center of this story cannot or will not give more than a heavily lawyered statement through a spokesman who's a crisis management consultant. And let me just say, it's also frustrating that this statement takes zero accountability. Despite the fact Mr. Beast
It's not much, it's just a random
every
yapping.
major allegation that we're laying out here today, there is no mention of selling while Mr. Beast was tweeting about Super Token. There's no mention
Yeah,
of
there
them
were no
selling
answers
tokens
in that
a
statement.
month after they partnered with a 2-month charity auction. And because of that, this statement feels very hollow. I think to Mr. Beast and probably to his fund, maybe this is just business, you know? They set out to make a lot of money, and they made a lot of money. What's the problem, right? This is America. They might think this is the biggest Mr. Beast nothing burger since Mr. Beast Burger. But look, honestly, I'd agree with them if they had done this crypto stuff without using Mr. Beast's name. But they want to have their cake and eat it too. This fund trades on Mr. Beast's name. As we see, they get in pre-sales based on his name. He tweets from his public account. And they're putting his name publicly on projects' websites instead of a fund. But when things go south, suddenly, oh, Mr. Beast, what? No, no liability. Just because he's not sitting there physically pressing the buttons. I don't think that's the way it works. Look, I want to close with the final part of this CryptoPunks podcast we showed you earlier, because in many ways, I think it's a microcosm of this story. Obviously, I have to say, I'm not making any comments or judgments about the guy who's suing me, who's also in this clip. It's just
Logan Paul.
coincidence. I am only talking about Mr. Beast's reaction, because as Mr. Beast is talking about Gary V's great CryptoPunks call, there's a moment when the co-host says, hey, maybe instead of Gary V being a genius, maybe it's just the call itself that makes the market. And Mr. Beast kind of defends it. He says, no, that was in February. You know, CryptoPunks didn't pop until the summer. And, you know, I never talked about CryptoPunks until this very moment.
Can I ask you guys a question? When Gary does that call with all these billionaires and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think about that a
Like,
lot.
dude, he has all these
I think about
billionaire
that a
market
lot.
makers in the thing.
I think about
He
that a
makes
lot.
the call, makes the market. By the way, you look around at all the punk owners a year later, and you're like, damn, it's all the same motherfuckers that were on the call.
No, because bro, there's 10,000 punks, and there's only like 30 of us in the call. We can only own and do so much. There's still an entire market that's gonna happen regardless.
I can tell you, I don't think why, because that was all back like early February. Like
Right.
things didn't pop off till later, and every like NFT project was popping off, not just punks.
I mean, make no mistake. Like, having such influential people involved in projects, it can't hurt the ability for the project to
but like,
work. You know what I'm saying?
95% of those people didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I've
right.
never talked about it publicly.
Yeah, but that last part isn't quite true. The reason we're
Yeah, you
all
did
here
talk
is
about it.
Mr. Beast
You are
tweeted
tweeting.
about CryptoPunks the same day he bought them back in February of 2021. That's how we found his wallet, even though we now know someone else was involved too. And I would apply the same level of scrutiny to many of the investments we've talked about. Was it the genius of Jason Williams, Mr. Beast, or this fund that made them tens of millions of dollars? Maybe. Or was it the fact that the name they brought to the table was Mr. Beast, one of the most influential and valuable brands in the world? And that's what got them the great deals. That's what got them the eyeballs. That's what made it so valuable to have his name on these websites. And maybe that's what made the market. Ultimately, I think it's for you to decide.
Honestly, I feel like Logan Paul has really influenced Mr. Beast into cryptocurrency, first of all. And on top of that, you can say he's starting to become like Logan Paul again, in a scam way. I'm saying, like getting into scams or making money in a shady way, you can say. And I don't know, like he has a team in the back, and those people are using Mr. Beast as a name, as a brand, and you know, putting his logo and his pictures on their website. Oh, supported by or backed up by Mr. Beast. And then if anything goes wrong, oh, it was Mr. Beast, not us, you know. It's like that's what's going on. But yeah, Mr. Beast do know somewhat that what he's doing, or you know, all about cryptocurrency, as he's talking with Logan Paul sitting there in the podcast. But still, I think so. He gotta be better than that, man. He gotta act better than that. I don't know how these guys are still doing these crypto scams, and I get it. Mr. Beast could be a nice guy, but only his team is being bad like that and making him millions of dollars. but still at the same time it's not good for his name, because he's the one up front, he's the one in the front. First they say it's Mr. Beast, then they talk about his team, you know. So it's not a good look for Mr. Beast, you can say. And yeah, I think so he gotta do better than that, and he gotta stop hanging around. Or of course he won't stop just by saying of if I say, he won't just stop like that, you know. But still he just gotta stop hanging around or taking calls, especially from Gary Vee. That was another big L, you can say. I don't know, I get it, I don't know how true it is that he had all the billionaires in the video call and they got time for all that. But Gary Vee, still I get it, people like him, praise him, and think he's a, you know, really good investor, or you know, he knows what he's doing. But I don't know, I don't follow that guy much, but I know somewhat about him, and he's kind of a weirdo too. But yeah, I think so he gotta do better, and he just gotta focus on, you can say, YouTube or better branding, and stop these scams all going on. And he had a lot of hate going on, especially on Twitter a few months ago too, and still is going on, but he's just not responding at all, as he did with coffeezilla emails as well. You know, he's just acting as nothing happened. And I did not know that MrBeast was really invested in cryptocurrency too, you know. I feel like Logan Paul and other KSI, you can say, have really made him like them too, or you know, like them and like crypto as well, or getting into scams and stuff, which is really bad for you, especially for his name, because he's a top rev, so famous, you know, the number one YouTuber, the top influencer, you can say, these days, especially YouTuber, you can say. And he's gonna be coming with Ronaldo soon, and that's gonna break our internet too. So yeah, you can say how crazy he is and how much influence he makes. And but yeah, I don't know, I hope he do better and he stop this scam and all this BS, and at least reply to coffeezilla emails to make his picture better, or you know, to prove himself that he's not wrong, or you know, if it was his team, he should tell him, or all the answers we need, which coffeezilla did not get, to know the right side of this story, you can say. But yeah, this was it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.